Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Arcane Arcade.
Hello there.
Hello there. We're playing EVENFALL tonight, as we did 2 weeks ago, but not last week, because last week was Arygia. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope all of you guys in the Zoom call are doing well.
No, and we're trying.
We're gonna give. That's
a statement
right there.
Yeah,
I'm trying.
Got jury duty next week.
Oof.
You have what?
I have jury
duty next week.
Oh, fun.
No, the week after next.
Oh, it's gonna be like
fun. Where is it? The local one, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, she needs to go to New York
right now.
No, I'm not saying the exact thing.
No, she needs to go to New York.
Yeah.
Well, no, the only one that I've been like fully called into having to go to was the district court.
Yeah.
In the biggest city north of here.
That's weird.
And so it's the big. There's only like 12 of these places in the entire country, or something like that. I don't know exactly. So it's like that's the only time I had to go in was this big one, which is like, okay, this is federal now, so it's totally different. That's why I was asking.
Jury duty.
Also, Stibbles is grayscale.
Unfortunately, Logan will not be joining us tonight. He has decided to spontaneously combust. Just kind of happened.
Because he decided spontaneously,
He was just chilling, and then he called me up, and he was like, "Jacob, I've decided to combust." And I was like, "All right, bro."
We're gonna hope that he gradually reincorporates.
Yeah, well, he's gonna slowly kind of come back and do his normal form, but it's a good break for him. So,
but it won't be enough time before the end of this game. It'll be in a few weeks.
Yeah. So he'll be back just in time for next time. But I will be playing Stibbles tonight. Ooh, so much power! I'm Stibbles. But I want to give a big shout out to our patrons over on Patreon. Big shout out to Echu, who is paying 3 times the amount that you need to be. Thanks, I guess. Melody Olvera.
Need to be at that.
Michael, just Michael. Mike Salmon. Cow the God. Will Pratt, possibly related to Chris Pratt. Teutonic Knight. Penguin Culture. Adam Halleck. Arthur Sulza. Danny. Mama Love and Papa Joy, Mimi H, Pimpin' to Hood, Angriest Bird God, Rick Osborne, James P, Subclass Podcast.
What?
All right, thanks, Subclass Podcast,
Okay.
The podcast that died earlier this year that Logan and I had never revived. Didn't know you were supporting us on Patreon. Josh Travis, Grant Thatcher, Patrick Skiffstad, and Notorious Thief. So thank you to all new patrons supporting us on our channel here. All of the proceeds on the Patreon go directly into a PayPal account that we use to buy new stuff for the stream. We're planning on getting a new stream computer pretty soon so that Colton is eventually moving out. He currently lives with me and Spencer. He's moving out to his own place, and he's going to be running the stream at his new place. And it would be great if he had like 2 computers so that he could use one to run the stream, the other one to do all the other stuff. So that is possibly something that we're going to be able to move forward thanks to all of you guys. So really appreciate all of your support.
And then we'll even have a built-in computer to render the inevitable Tomb episode.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am ahead on those Tomb episodes. So
whoa,
I'm nipping it in the
ahead
bud
of
now.
schedule.
So,
that never happens.
All right. I scheduled them out. They're
and
ready
yet
to go.
they might still be late.
No, they won't. They won't be late. I promise. I'll make that announcement now. Actually, we have the Session 0 prologue episode going up on Saturday, tomorrow, at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So like 23 hours from right now will be the first episode of Tomb of Annihilation. But the actual first episode 1, will be up on Wednesday next week. And then the following episodes will premiere on Wednesdays, Saturdays, until beginning of November. And in November we will likely be streaming the episodes from there on, probably on Saturdays. So I planned things out, guys. I did it. I'm an adult. So
kind of.
Yeah. But anyways,
hey,
bring
Jacob,
ourselves into EVENFALL. What?
Out of curiosity, after this game, could we reveal the prologue pieces of art?
Oh yeah, sure.
In
We
the
can drop
Discord.
those in the Discord.
In the Discord after the
Look out for
game.
those.
Ping me if I forget and you remember. Also, as always, variety streams. I'm just gonna say this with no context for anyone else, but we have started the golf career of PGA legend Billy Lettuce. So if you want to see more
So
of that, go to the Twitch channel and and subscribe.
Instead of watching Critical Role, go watch Colton play Billy Lettuce in
the new PGA tour.
Yep.
Oh my god!
For those of you on YouTube, we have a Twitch channel that Colton especially does variety streams of various games, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Should we say so? Next week, the schedule's slightly different, correct?
That's right. No game next week.
No game.
Yeah. So next week we want to have Avnia.
We're still
That's
trying to
it. We won't have anything on Friday. So
No, we will not have anything next Friday for busy reasons. I don't know. If
as far as now, we might do something. I don't know.
we'll figure it out. We're still figuring it out. But
Yeah, I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you
That's
updated. Also, check out G Fuel. They're our sponsor. Use code Fireball for 30% off. I think it's 30% off right now because the Haste video went up yesterday. So go check that out if you want to support us in the channel and get yourself some caffeinated beverages. Anyways, let's jump into tonight's game of Evenfall. So, last we left off, Jordan, you get to do the recap.
Okay. Last time on Evenfall,
Whoa!
the party arrived back in town right as a seasonal party was being planned. The crew split in many different ways. Actually, it was just two ways. Kurt and then everyone else went to take care of actual business. Kurt went to finagle their way onto the set list for the music, and everyone else went to let the prince...
Just to detail him on everything that was going on, basically.
To let him know what was up, and then negotiated the the giant stone.
You guys had just brought through the gate portal.
Yeah, sold it to an art gallery, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kurt and Stibbles auditioned in front of two of legendary bards, and got themselves added to the playlist. The party starts, and everyone's having a good time. Even Philip. They throw hatchets at targets. They drink beers. Everyone is having a great time. We wake up, and as we gather to head out, our contact is arrested and drug away by town guards, and the rest of the town guards surround us. But we were not deterred. We are a well-oiled machine as a party.
Charms and frightens.
And we did not, if I remember correctly, kill a single...
You did it.
We did not.
You just horribly traumatized one of them. The rest of them, they were
We mildly injured a couple, but none of them were ever...
No, you did not kill any of them.
And then we escaped in many different directions, got on horses, and sped off into the countryside.
Sure did.
Yep.
You guys are all currently on horses that
we're currently
Plaz
on
had set
a,
you up with.
as far as I recall, we're currently on what we understand is a pretty tight time limit concerning Tethros attacking Arygia.
Yes.
So that's where we're headed, as far as I understand.
Yep.
Sounds right.
So, you guys, let me do this real fast. You guys had escaped the city on the back of horses. Stibbles, I believe, is an Okapi currently. I feel like he turned into Stibbles and jumped on the back of somebody else's horse, but I may be wrong.
No, that was a plan for once Wild Shape ran out.
Got it.
Yeah.
So Stibbles is currently wild shaped, and with all of you, the rest of you are on 5 different horses, currently speeding out of the city. And your guys' escape was so well done. That the guards are very they aren't entirely certain on where you are, where you've gone, and by the time they realize you're already out of sight. You guys speed off out of the city and into kind of like down the hills that kind of make up this kind of hillier area near the mountains in Arygia, and off into a forest. There's a forest there's the Queen's Forest, which is north of Whitmore, which is the Shadowfell portal that you guys have gone into previously. But south of Whitmore is a much larger forest that spans very far into the kind of center of Arygia. And I'm going to load up the map for you guys here. I can give it to you.
Oh, crap.
Here, I'll send it into the messenger chat. It's a link to the World Anvil.
World
kind of
Anvil.
World Anvil.
Not sponsored, but
In Arygia,
like
that big cluster of trees directly in the center, that is the forest that you guys are currently speeding off into. And it only takes you guys about 10 minutes to reach the border of it until you are almost completely out of sight of the city. It's way in the distance, beyond hills, very far away. And you can take that moment to kind of, the horses stop sprinting at this point. They all kind of come to like a bit of a brisk pace as you all kind of catch your breath for a moment and reconvene on the outside of this forest. It's still pretty early in the morning, about 8:30 a.m. It is completely overcast today. Very, very dark, almost stormy, kind of on the western side of the sky. It's like this dark and almost like rainy in the distance. And kind of on the eastern side where the sun is rising, it's much more bright, but still gray and dull. You guys are right outside this forest. You're all together. And what are you doing?
I have a quick question.
Yep.
Was Linyara with us, or
No.
is she still okay? That's
You do not know where Linyara is. The last you saw her, she was in the city. The last you saw her was right before the festival.
Okay.
That was a close one, everyone. How are you all doing?
I'm fine. Is everyone okay? I can heal if anyone's hurt. Is anyone hurt?
Honestly, I think Stibbles did the most damage to me. But I mean, it's all like fake stuff.
The Okapi just looks at you and just goes,
Hey, Jacob. Did I get the spells written in or no?
when would you have done that?
I bought the spells and then sat down and was writing them while people were grouping with us, and then shortly after we all grouped together, we were attacked.
Oh, in the morning?
Uh-huh.
No, that would have been about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Philip.
It certainly
Phil-
wasn't 2 hours.
Yes.
Hey, Philip.
Hey, Kurt.
Did you happen to see the show last night, Philip?
I saw some of it. Yes.
I was there on stage.
I saw you. Yes.
Did you go home with anybody? Did my music inspire you?
I went back to my room at the boarding house. I think there were some people in my room just because it was overlooked,
Oh,
but
you
I didn't-
were hammered then. You had no idea who was with you. Oh, what a crazy evening that sounds like.
As Philip's talking with Kurt, he'll go over to Phelan and cast Cure Wounds on him.
I mean, it was all like fake stuff by that. I mean, like temporary hit points. He's
Oh,
You're
totally.
not even actually hurt.
Yeah.
You're not hurt?
No.
Okay.
I was like, I don't know how to describe what temporary hit points are.
Is anyone actually hurt?
That's why I said it was fake.
Phelan,
The
I
Okapi
know.
it's like this.
I know Phelan must have got down, right? Did anyone see Phelan get down? I was on stage. I could not notice. I was looking. Phelan, tell me. Tell me you dropped it. You dropped it like it was hot.
He did when an axe.
What does that mean?
You know what it
I don't-
means, Lelia.
I don't.
You're a wild heart. Surely.
No.
The Okapi
Oh.
is currently shaking his butt and his head at the same time.
Look, I find it strange that the only person who is willing to even engage with what I'm talking about is the strange horse thing, which is actually Stibbles. And the fact that Stibbles has not become Stibbles again is... It's just weird that you're a horse and you're doing that. I'm just saying...
This horse got poo brain.
He just kind of keeps doing it, and then you watch as the Okapi begins to shrink, and it's not a beautiful sight whatsoever. It's just this vicious transformation of an Okapi turning into a small gnome. Skin
Gnashing
grows over
bones.
some parts of the the
Yeah,
bones
like
crack and
cracking of
reform.
bones.
The head shrinks, and you see like eyes come out of the side of it, and then it turns back into Stibbles, and his hat sticks up at the top of him, and he's just like, I know what you're talking about, Kurt. I get it, man.
You know,
Good.
you are the second druid I've met, and somehow more disgusting than, way more disgusting than the first.
Nature's pretty disgusting.
She wasn't. She's nice. You're never mind. We should really get going. This is like life or death. Gotta go.
Yes,
Stop.
I agree.
Does anyone know where the tower is?
Let me see if my notes
They said it was like 2 days south of Gleamrock. So that direction.
Is that what we were told?
It'd be
2
through
days
the...
south? I thought it was longer than that.
Well, 2 days south of Gleamrock would be through the forest, or...
Still would have been, 3 days from Whitmore, as I forgot what it was called for a second. Okay, where's that stupid little thing?
So, does anybody have... I don't think anybody does have cartographer tools, do they?
No.
All right. Everybody roll a percentage check.
Oh boy.
Let's see who has...
Use my new dice.
57.
57, all right. Kurt does not have a map
50,
of
34.
Northern Sunder. Core, what'd you get?
51.
I
Nope.
have a map.
Lilia?
34.
I thought we were given a map.
82%.
Nope.
84%.
Unless you guys were given one or you got one at some point, nobody has. a map.
I took a map in Linyara's in her room that she was in. I took everything
sure.
and you said there were
So
maps.
yeah, we'll say that there was a bunch of different maps. There were underground maps and other things like that. Let's say you do have kind of an overworld map of Arygia, Yorland, and kind of the upper northern parts of Sunder. From what you can see, towards the north kind of center of Arygia is Gleamrock, and about 2 days south of it is the forest. Kind of the upper portion of the forest.
Okay.
This is Linyara's map, right?
Yeah, I have a map and notes of his plan that I was given in Linyara's
Yeah, so you see where it's marked. It looks to be dead center of the forest. Like dead center on kind of the top area. So you know where it is. And go ahead and roll a survival check. Yep.
I roll 17.
You figure where you are in comparison to Whitmore, and you notice it's about maybe 2.5 to 3 days walk from where you currently are.
Okay. We should get going then.
Yes.
Walk and talk, Kurt.
Walk and talk. All right. Kurt slings their guitar and begins playing a nice
Maybe we
little
should go a
groovy
little bit more
tune.
quieter though.
So I
We
was
are on the
actually
run now.
I was actually thinking
We
Yeah.
are not so much on the run as we are on the boogie.
I was thinking
Well,
that I know
The guards will likely come for us.
I know that you all, besides maybe Kurt, myself, and Stibbles, don't like the idea of saying we are in a band, but I think it's a better idea than walking around saying we're adventurers.
Adventures are
Definitely is.
kind of illegal here. Castivore, which is what I was saying for a while.
Yeah, I don't know who let it slip that we are being paid to do things, but
The Duchess said to the Queen. I mean,
How would she know, or why would she care about us, though?
Exactly.
Well, we were with
I'm sure
her
she's
brother,
the one
so
who helped pass the
she probably
law.
knows.
Right, but it doesn't necessarily seem like her brother was here with her okay.
That's what I'm saying. If she found out that we were working with him, we are not in her good books necessarily.
I'm sure she can't keep her brother locked in a room. She can keep us locked in a room, and then her brother won't have anyone to go to, anyone to help him.
That still doesn't make sense to me. Even if he knew, or even if he was found out, like he didn't know that he was found out until we ran into him again, and no one knew that he was with us until.
And he
I don't know,
seemed
they
kind of
seem to know who
surprised.
we were.
There's no way for them. They had to have found out that we're adventuring somewhere else. That just doesn't make sense.
But now, we'll just try to be safer about it. We're in a band. We travel. This is our manager, and
Wait, who's the manager?
Stibbles.
No, Stibbles is the lighting guy. I think Core is sort of our
Core's
manager.
The manager.
Or looks more like the managing type.
Okay.
Yeah,
More than
Stibbles. Sort of a severe kind of "don't fuck with me" attitude.
Right. Kurt is our leader, and I am the drums. You say?
Yes, I will get you drums.
Okay.
Lilia is
Lilia, what do you
bass.
play? Bass?
My bass. I don't play anything.
I don't
Well,
play
we
the
shall
drums.
fix that.
I used to sing, but that was a long time ago.
Lilia,
I'm not very good.
are you going to be backup singer?
If I'm forced to, I guess it's the only thing I can actually do confidently.
Lend your voice with mine. And Kurt begins singing like one of the most, probably like best known Body Road songs as the group kind of trots down the road.
Yeah, the singing goes on. It doesn't. Strangely enough, it doesn't like echo throughout the woods or anything. It's actually, if anything, more dampened by the wood, and the trees and the grass and the leaves and whatnot. So it doesn't carry very far. But I mean, it's loud.
I don't think I know this one, Kurt.
Just follow along, and Kurt is just like just hit this, go right when I say this, and like Kurt is coaching Lilia as best they can through the chorus of a song.
All right.
Does Lilia participate?
Very apprehensively, but probably Kurt more or less forces the ordeal, I'm assuming.
Both of you roll a performance check.
Oh no. This can only go so well.
Oh, I roll a natural
One?
No.
A one?
a
It's
natural
all-
one, but I have a +5 to it.
Oh.
25.
Okay, so Kurt obviously very good at this whole singing ordeal, but every so often there's a couple of points where Lilia does try to follow along with you, Kurt, and sing, and like it's one of those moments where you can tell like, oh, she has the potential to be able to sing.
I would say
but, like the confidence isn't there.
Yeah, the confidence. Her voice is like somewhat shaky. So
and you know what it's like to
reach it.
sing without confidence. It just
Right.
it just doesn't come out, and it's like you can do it, but you just aren't pushing it. So
Kurt just keeps saying, "Oh, good, that's nice raw energy," and we don't want to be these court-trained bards anyway, who hit all the notes all the correct ways. Core knows this. A good painter always paints outside the lines and breaks all the rules. Am I right, Core? Like who has a use for standard traditions?
It depends on
Right.
what style you're preferring.
Well, the style that we're performing right now, where we need Lelia to get under her voice and be confident about it, is the fucking style of painting we're talking about right now.
You could also argue that following standard procedure would lead to her becoming more effective in what she's trying to do over time.
Lelia, don't you listen to this Debbie Downer over here, okay? You are a phenomenal creature, and your voice is singing out. We are just waking it up, and who amongst us is ever fit and fiddled right first thing in the morning? We just need to give you some work, and it's good that we have the road to wherever we are going, hours and hours of riding to prepare you.
Okay.
You know, it sounds like we agree on the ending. We just don't agree on the philosophy to get there.
Trying to
This is
trying
going
to
to be
build
a
up the
fun
band
48
here.
hours.
Yes, it will be.
Kurt, I don't know how to play the drums, just so you know.
Okay.
I told you I can play the piano.
You know how to play the piano.
I was taught, yes.
Dibbles looks at you and says,
several
"You
years
hit them
lessons.
really hard. You're good at that."
The drums? When I break them?
Yeah.
What you should do, Kurt pulls a small pair of bongos out of their pack. Well, yes, you never can tell when.
Travel bongos.
They're just small ones.
I love it so much.
Yeah, I was gonna say it unfolds. Like you put down, you lift it up.
They're the little kind that you like hit with the tips of your fingers.
There you go.
And don't worry, Philip, I will get you bigger drums. But for now, and Kurt just sort of starts a basic like rhythm on the guitar, and all you have to do is match. Just tap.
Okay.
Just tap. All
right. I'm gonna join in.
Just follow along. And as they start going, and now, Lelia, all you have to do, instead of tapping on the drums, you just have to sing. Just make noise along with this rhythm, like you're accompanying my guitar.
Okay, let's try.
Yes, that's it. Yes. Performance roll.
Performance roll
Go
again.
for it. Let's go ahead and have everybody roll a performance roll, and we'll give everybody advantage. Or whoever's a
I
participant.
was gonna say,
Oh, thank God.
Phelan and Cora look at each other. Like,
So far I have,
what are we doing here?
So far I have written down Core is our manager, Kurt is our leader, obviously. I am on the drums. Stibbles is our lighting guy.
Yo, Phelan is the muscle.
Lelia is backup vocals, and Phelan is looks? Question mark?
No, Phelan's the muscle.
He's the go-go dancer.
Oh
We'll put him in a cage and let him.
no.
Okay. What'd you get, Philip?
Performance check
Yeah.
would be an 18.
All right. Lelia got a 17.
17.
17 as well. Wait, no, sorry, I have a plus 8. 20. Dirty 20. Phelan,
Corey, you guys participating in this?
No.
No.
It is a long trip.
Phelan, Stibbles provides some dancing lights and some druid craft to accompany the performance as you guys make your way through the woods. And Kurt, you have built together the three of you to become this very nice little a trio of performers. Philip kind of gets the hand of like the percussion, and he's getting into it, and he's experimenting with it, and it's great. And Lilia is able to get more and more confident, and as you guys continue throughout this, as you kind of push her further into more and more vocals, and discover that. What? Sorry, Tyler.
I was gonna say, I think what you would notice as being like a performer and a singer, you would notice that her voice is generally a little bit like, as she's singing, it's a little bit softer and almost more
ethereal.
Not like the type of singing you do, but a little bit more like smoother and softer, melodic almost.
Yeah, I think
more like almost like a lullaby, I would say.
Yeah, I think Kurt has probably trained the trio into like a pretty decent like jazz Odyssey troupe.
There you go.
We don't play a song so much as we start music, and like Kurt is the cornerstone, and Lilia and Philip sort of follow along wherever that guitar goes. And Kurt has kind of stripped back the rock and kind of blues edge out of and kept it a little more low.
That's a good party name, the Jazz Odyssey.
Jazz Odyssey.
Gabe, why would we call the band Evanescence?
Evanescence.
Sorry, Evanescence. Evanescence, because it's Evenfall.
Evanescence. Look, we have a name, everybody. It is Kurt and the Motherfuckers. I mean,
Yes.
it played well. It played well with the townsfolk, I thought, of Whitmore. I thought they felt it in their bones.
So we are definitely not a family-friendly band.
Name though, since the guards know about us.
That is true.
What about the Bunghole Raiders?
I don't know.
No, that's a bit much.
No.
You're right. As soon as I said it, it sort of just sounded wrong.
I don't think that fits
Different audience.
us. It might fit you, but not us.
I think Kurt and the Motherfuckers is a perfect name.
Kurt pulls out like a small piece of parchment and is looking. I have names here. I wrote them all down.
The intrepid heroes of Northern Sunder, the Bunghole Raiders.
The chat is spamming fucking wake me up.
What's the one? It's the
guys.
the variation of it. I'm trying to remember.
When we're on break,
The Kids Bop version.
yeah, when we're on break.
Oh yeah, that one.
When we're on break, go watch the Kids Bop version of "Bring Me to Life" by Evanescence. It is maybe the worst experience you'll ever have.
I don't know about that, but it's certainly not great.
And you guys continue to travel through the forest, and it's a rather what's the word? It's not a gloomy kind of dark experience going through the forest. It's rather jovial as you guys make your way through. While Phelan and Cora, you guys are mostly ignoring.
I feel like at some point Cora would almost suggest maybe going ahead a little bit to scout, but really it's just to get away from the sound. And Phelan's probably like, sure, yeah, let's do that.
All right, Cora and Phelan, you guys.
We're scouting.
You guys scout up ahead. How far away from the party are you at this point?
I will follow Phelan's lead on that.
Okay.
I'm trying to think because I don't know.
How far does you're thinking? How far away does Phelan need to be to not hear it?
Oh, he would have to be miles.
Oh yeah,
Are you serious? Oh my god!
Look at his passive perception.
That's true.
Far enough away that it's more of they're probably out of sight, and it'd be more of he is using this as an opportunity to scout ahead. But enough where it wouldn't be far away if they needed to double back.
Question for you guys. I'm assuming this, but I'm going to hear you guys clarify. You guys are on the backs of your horses, right?
Yes.
I assume so. Yes.
Yeah.
Just making sure. All right, then that's fine. Horses can go through woods. They're fine. Just not really difficult terrain woods. You guys scout up ahead, keeping an eye out for anything that may come by or show up. And as you guys are making your way along, the first day kind of goes by pretty easily. These forests are really, really dense. Very, very tall trees, almost like evergreens. And it's calm, it's serene for the two of you, and occasionally you can hear the distant coming off the trees in the distance. But you guys keep it up ahead until you notice it starts to get darker and darker and darker, and a good 8 hours go by, and you guys start to get pretty tired. The horses are pretty tired at this point. I assume you guys stop to. All right. You guys all stop together. Find a little clearing in the woods, and how do you? We won't do this for every single night. I'm going to hand wave the next couple of bits of time, but I think it would be kind of fun. How do you guys prepare for like a camp in the woods?
Okay. So Core would Core kind of just has a bedroll, so pretty simple. Might set up like I don't know if you've ever seen how people do this, but you can, if you have like the proper sticks and like leafy materials, you can almost make like a lean-to.
Oh yeah.
Probably do something like that and then lay under that with a bedroll.
Okay.
And before, as everyone was getting ready to go to sleep, she would cast alarm.
All right, yeah. So the little area you guys are kind of like flattened out, kind of in the trees and stones, kind of surrounding you. And Core kind of goes over and takes the bell and the string and creates a small area of alarm. Slowly like fades and turns invisible to anybody who would see it.
And I think I can like tell. I can designate creatures that won't set off the alarm. Our horses and us will not set off the alarm.
Okay.
Phelan's probably very familiar with all this, you know?
Yeah, Phelan's kind of almost like a pro at this. He's already gathering some like dead wood. He's going around. He's setting up other portions of like the campsite and whatnot. Stibbles is as well. Stibbles has already left and come back with food and water. He goes around and gives everybody food and different bits of water. He finds like berries and some mushrooms, and he keeps everybody fed and whatnot. And it's strange how quickly and efficiently he's able to find all of these supplies in the woods. And Stibbles kind of just goes into the dirt and creates like a little small little area for himself and just kind of sits in it.
What's the temperature now? Because
it would be about
cold, right?
Yeah. So can somebody who pays more attention to this campaign than I do tell me what month it is?
It's the 9th month.
It's the 9th, so it's effectively like it's September.
Mm-hmm. It is 9/17.
It's 9/21.
It's weirdly like the same time around. It's 9/17.
9/21.
No, it's 9/21.
Oh, okay.
No, that doesn't make sense. Come on. I have the dates. I don't know. I'll have to double check with you what the issue is.
Regardless, it is like the exact same time that it is now.
It's this week.
So, yeah. So and for Arygia, it's a much more northern kind of climate.
It's this week in Alaska.
Yeah.
It's not Alaska.
We're like it's this week in Canada.
Washington.
Oregon or Washington.
It is 62 degrees.
Yeah. Fun.
Okay. Philip's gonna go over to Kurt, and can I have my tent in your bag of holding? Can I have it?
Kurt, do you want to reach in and grab it, or would you rather I get it? Kurt just sort of like opens the flap on the bag of holding.
He'll just put his hand in. You can just like call things to you, right?
Yeah, you just sort of think about what you want, and then it's there for you.
He's gonna pull out his tent, and he's gonna walk over to a little area where he's kind of pushed rocks and bits of bark and stuff out of the way, and he'll start setting up his little tent.
That would have been part of like Phelan's preparation. He would have cleared most of that little clearing.
Yeah.
Philip would have helped Phelan clear out the area for everyone.
Perfect.
Philip, do you need help pitching your tent?
Oh no, I'm quite good at it.
I've often have been told I am an excellent aid in helping
Tents?
pitching tents.
I've been on my own for a while now. I'm pretty good at it. It's a one-person process.
Haha! Two people always make things go smoother, but I do understand where you're coming from. Kurt is probably like laying on the ground, like just like there's nothing they can do. they don't know how to survive in the wilderness.
Oh God.
Is it very obvious that you don't know how to survive in the wilderness?
Almost certainly. Yeah. I would say that probably while everyone has been doing stuff, Kurt has just sort of been like
Kurt,
looking.
do you have like a bedroll or a tent?
Well, I think I have. They begin sort of searching through. Hold on, I actually need to see if I do.
If I have these things.
Jordan's like, I might be sleeping on the floor.
Yeah. Let's see. Kurt goes, yes, here it is, and pulls out a bedroll. Like, it looks like still new, like they bought it from whatever shop and hasn't actually been unrolled.
Yeah.
And Kurt goes, I assume you
Oh,
just...
it's still in like the like shrink wrap packaging.
Yeah. It's like in a wax paper pack. Like,
Yeah.
you just sort of, this is a bedroll, correct? I was told that you just...
Yes, that does seem right.
Usually, I've made it to the next inn, and but yeah, it can't be that hard to.
No, go ahead and you just unroll it. You just gotta take the
Okay,
paper
so
off.
we gotta.
There
take-
are several
so
strings
there's-
that keep it wrapped together.
Right. But do I cut the strings or do I save?
No. You need the strings to when tomorrow when you roll it back up, it'll stay together. You don't want it flapping around.
Oh yes, no, that makes sense. Kurt is trying to undo the strings.
Phelan, you watch in horror as Philip helps Kurt undo.
He's just like
this
standing there with his
bedroll
bedroll, just like
and tent, and set it all up, and then after like 2 hours, you guys finally get everything done, and you're like, there.
It's weird because Kurt does everything with a kind of sensuous grace that they cannot do this is jarringly apparent.
Oh my god, it's great. Does Lelia do anything, Tyler?
She doesn't seem to know how to do a whole lot compared to like Phelan or Stibbles, but she seems to be fairly. She's able to undo her bedroll and place it herself, and so pretty much that's her main thing. She kind of sets her own bedroll up, and the kind of just sits cross-legged, takes off her armor, which takes a little while because it's fairly heavy.
still heads and tail above the bottom.
Huh?
Still heads and tail above the bottom. You can unravel your bedroll.
Unravel the bedroll. For most of the time, she tries to like help a little bit here and there, but she's kind of sits cross-legged on her bed in her journal.
All right.
Philip, before everyone goes to bed, he's gonna go around and like check on everyone, like not like actually go over to people and talk to them, but he's gonna be like just doing like little checks on everyone. Specifically, Kurt, make sure they're not
Gonna die in the night.
in their bedroll.
Kurt like
Wrong
climbs in
fairies.
head first.
To be completely honest, he's doing his nightly spider check, but just making sure everyone else is okay with in that area, and then he'll go to his tent, do his nightly little like prayers, and then go to sleep. Do I find any spiders? Is the real question.
Roll a perception check.
Core would be writing the scrolls into her spellbook before going to sleep, using the light activity time that you can do.
Sounds good. Oh yeah. So you
I had
gather all
unseen
the paper and whatnot.
Yeah, I had unseen servant and ice knife, I believe.
Yeah. So
Those are both
that'll
first
take
level.
4 hours for you to put into your spell book. You're half elf though, so you could pull it. You could still do it.
Half elves require the full time.
Yeah, I know. So, be about. I mean, it would be 8 p.m. by the time you were done.
Okay, yeah, that's
So
fine.
that's what Cor and Lelia are both just kind of writing in like these journals. Philip is walking around, kind of helping Kurt, getting everybody situated.
Interestingly enough, to anyone that's seen the way that a wizard would normally write spells into a spell book, instead, what Cor has done is she's found like a plank of wood and like to whatever she can find, basically to set out to like make out like a little table. And she pulls out her rapier and sets that down on it, and then as she's kind of reciting the scroll, when she dips the ink and then writes it down into the book, before she finishes the ink, she kind of takes it and like brushes it across the sword, and it just kind of like melds itself into the sword, almost creating that as the material component.
It's cool.
For the. Not mechanically, but flavor like it's making that the material.
It is very foreign to all of you the way Cor does anything. I mean, Phelan, you've seen wizards who have put spells into spell books. You've seen people who have casted spells and whatnot, and this is nothing like you've ever seen anybody do before. It is strange and weird, and you didn't think it actually even existed the way that people could do this. So.
You just sit in the back, just like, what the fuck? What the fuck's with this group?
Philip, what'd you get on your roll?
13.
Yeah, you spot like 8 to 10 different spiders.
Are they
just around the area? Like you find like a web in one of the trees. You go over to like some of the dirt and you find a couple of them walking around.
How far away from our area are they?
Like the closest one?
Mm-hmm.
The closest one is 20 feet away, moving towards a tree.
Towards me? My trees over here in my area? Or...
He's not like, I'm coming for you, Philip. He's just being a spider.
Philip's going to go over to that one specifically and crush it, and then he's going to go back to...
You guys are all setting up. It goes very quiet, and you just see Philip clank as you see his greave hit into the dirt.
Oh, I don't have my armor on.
Oh,
we're getting ready to go night. I'm chilling.
All right.
Just have like a loose white shirt on and some.
All right.
He's in his pajamas.
Yeah,
he's
my
comfy.
You go over and towards your bed, and everybody eventually heads off into sleep. It is very cold throughout the night, but not so cold that you gain hypothermia or anything. And the night goes on.
I will
Are they
say,
able to make us a fire at all?
Yeah, definitely make a fire.
I will
Very
also say she is also doing the same with the edges of her cloak. She is kind of rolling the ink across along the cloak as well.
Cool. Yeah, Phelan, you probably are gathering dead wood by the time you already got over here, and you've created a fire, so it's not terribly cold, but you also have a bit of light in the middle of the forest as you guys eventually head off into sleep. Phelan, you wake up maybe 5 times throughout the night. Each time being some sort of there's some sort of noise. You wake up, you look around, and there's a bird fluttering through the forest, and that's normal for you. You go back to sleep. It's become routine at this point for you to consistently wake up throughout the night with distant sounds. You hear a footstep, you stand up. Philip has just kind of like sat himself up and then rolled back around, and you lay back down. Until eventually the night continues to go on. Philip, you get up at like midnight and continue watch throughout the rest of the day until everybody slowly wakes up towards as the sun kind of comes up in the east. It's another very cloudy day, and as Stibbles wakes up, kind of looks around, stretches, holds out his hand. And in his hand, he sees there's like a little orb that appears in his hand. And he looks up and he looks back down. It's gonna rain.
Great.
Of course it is.
Good. I mean, we can cover our tracks that way.
Ooh, I need
But
to
at
see
the
what
same time-
Kurt's new hair is.
Oh, it's gonna be bad.
Kurt comes out of the
Actually,
tent.
is good.
It might be best if I travel behind us and help with our tracks, get rid of them.
Okay.
Kurt has a full beard, like a Santa Claus
That's
beard.
awesome.
And their hair is like Fabio long and like tousled. And their hair is sort of like the color of like fall leaves.
Their beard
Kurt
as well.
spent one night in the woods and became a mountain man.
Kurt puts their like fashionable their cloak of many fashions on, and it kind of becomes
Lumberjack.
It becomes like a brown like a brown woolen thing with like tri-corner leaves sewn on in like a breeze.
That's awesome. I love it.
I already feel more rustic and a little more rugged around the edges.
Now let's see you.
Oh yeah, you look like some people I know, says Stibbles.
Your bedroll back in your
Okay,
pack.
Philip, I'm not gonna lie. I am gonna need your assistance.
All right. I just wanted to see you try. Also, I'm
Okay,
very
well,
jealous.
do we fold? Do we fold
well,
here, or is it a roll?
You do a bit of a fold, and then you do a very, very tight roll, and then you get those strings you were gonna cut. You wrap those back around.
Now, do you have to put a lot of pressure on it?
Yes.
Put your pressure with both hands.
Put both hands.
Just
and
press
keep
it into the
rolling.
dirt a little bit.
Yeah.
And then tie it up
And then
so that it can't get loose.
yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Mm.
For no reason, Phelan just feels uncomfortable. He doesn't quite understand why, but there's just something that's just really just making him not feel comfortable in this group.
Phelan, you hear heavy footsteps behind you as soon as this is happening.
Oh boy.
Oh, I was about to do some more
What were you gonna do, Lilia? Sorry.
I was gonna say, I imagine Lilia is just like cross-legged on her bedroll, like braiding her hair, just watching this happen, just and like not getting, like not understanding. Kurt, how, like thinking in her mind, Kurt, how do you not know this? It's so easy. Dude, all the innuendo completely just over the head.
Cora would just be quietly packing up her camp.
Yeah, and in the middle of this, as Philip is kind of doing all of that, helping Kurt, as Kurt's like trying to shove this thing and back into where it's going. Cora, you just said what you were doing, and I forgot.
Just packing up my
Yeah, you're
setup.
just packing up your stuff. Lilia kind of sitting there doing her hair. Phelan, you hear like
He just like, and it's just like instantly in that direction.
you turn, you look. You're the only one that sees this. You see about 30 feet away from you. You see a human. Like a bipedal person, 2 arms, currently wearing like armor, like a chain shirt, kind of like a blue and white kind of like regalia underneath, and a helmet. Kind of stare, and then runs off.
Were the guards from the previous day wearing that sort of armor? Yes. We've been spotted. We need to go.
Oh, fantastic.
I think that was a scout.
Yeah,
Do I see them?
I mean, you guys all kind of look up and around it. I mean, it wasn't very far away. You guys kind of look up and you do see like somebody like running through the forest.
Yeah, we should leave.
Leave to where?
Further on.
Further in.
Yeah. And Phelan.
That is what she said. Further in.
Why would she say that?
Because she wants the penis further in. It's a sex joke,
You're
Phelan.
talking to Kurt.
Oh, that was really great, Kurt.
If you could, Phelan,
Got it.
provide tracks. As you said, you
This
would.
one.
I'm just going to passively, quietly, saying nothing, put my stuff on my horse, and get on. Ready to go.
All right, you guys gather back on your horse. You continue along, and as you begin to kind of move, Phelan, you're covering up tracks as you're going.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing this?
Well, I mean, they're horse tracks, correct? So it'd very much he'd be doing one of 2 things, possibly emulating tracks into a different direction, and also erasing the tracks that they're leaving behind. You mentioned it's muddy, so it's gonna help him, but also like be messy.
Can you roll a wisdom deception check?
Bruh.
Well, but you get your wisdom to it instead of your charisma.
Yes.
Which is
so
nice.
It's okay. Oh boy. So that would be like what it would not proficiency, correct? So
Are you proficient in deception?
No.
So
I
just
was
roll a
trying
wisdom
to
check.
spin it into frick, what's it called?
Survival?
Survival, yeah. I can't think of words today.
Go ahead and roll a survival check.
Oh, thank God.
Ah, my phone perished.
Oh, rest in fucking pepperonis. It's 17.
Yeah, you do a pretty good job throwing off your trail. You kind of maneuver your way around kind of throughout the different forest, kind of making different tracks and whatnot, throwing dirt over some portions of it. It would be very difficult to track this as you go throughout the day. And as you kind of go along, you don't hear anybody else behind you. Nobody else kind of shows up. There's distant animals kind of throughout the forest as you guys continue along, but the second day kind of goes off pretty easily. You guys find another clearing at the end of the day, pack up, kind of the same thing over again. You guys all get in your respective corners of the clearing. Kurt's getting better and better at unrolling that bedroll, and the night goes on just fine. It did rain, however, through about half the day. You guys were pretty wet throughout the night, and it was very cold. I figure Phelan would have created a fire. You guys could have dried off most of your clothing and whatnot throughout the day.
Philip
And
just walks around the most of the night without a shirt on, just trying to get it dry. He's just
Yeah.
very uncomfortable.
Yeah, and you like hold it over the fire, and as you hold it over the fire, there's like steam and stuff kind of coming off the side of it, and eventually you guys are able to kind of dry it and sleep comfortably. But you guys wake up the next day to more rain, kind of very early in the morning. It's already kind of pitter pattering in the forest. You get the smell of like that wet dirt and vegetation kind of moving throughout the forest. It's very calming. It's very nice, but it is very cold morning as you all wake up and kind of get ready, kind of hoods up as you kind of trudge on through the forest on your horses. Today is about 50 degrees. And because it's raining, it's very, very cold. But not to it's like uncomfortable, but it's not enough to like give you levels of exhaustion or anything. But as you guys continue through this forest and you get closer and closer towards your destination, the sounds of like animal life and the wind kind of moving through the forest begins to cease. And the rain's still there, but it grows more and more quiet. The brush that you're kind of walking on, the dirt, begins to almost like soften, and it becomes more and more muted. The colors, especially in the trees, become more and more muted and darker. And it almost seems like it should be later in the day, but it should be about 10 in the morning at this point. It's so overcast and so dark, and the trees are so overbearing. It becomes shadowed everywhere. Stibbles is a bit on edge as he kind of looks around and he says, "Oh, not this again. Man, I hate this. This isn't normal. This isn't natural at all."
Philip's gonna do a divine sense.
A divine sense?
Yeah, once we start getting further into the darkness and the gloom, and Stibbles is on edge, I'll do one.
Stibbles, you said all no, not again.
This
What,
has happened before.
Yeah, the shadow fell. Feels like that place again.
It means we're getting close, probably.
Unlikely.
Great.
Something like the border of it. We're not directly in it, but we're definitely near something that's powerful enough to allow its influence into this place. Ugh. Maybe I'll find Gerbo.
It would make It would make sense that the closer we get, the more like it becomes kind of like the Queen's Woods near a bit more.
Yes. And we know that his fortress is out here.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob, correct me if I'm wrong. It was not. Do I have that in my notes? I should. Was it Grosmont that?
That what?
I'm trying to recall if that was the name of the fortress that was abandoned or not.
The name of the fortress?
Yeah, or if we were ever given a name. I just see that what would seem to be about 2 days south is a place called Grosmont. That's about 2 days south.
Grosmont's a city.
It is a city. That's what I thought. So the fortress is not marked on the map.
No.
I just have it written that it was a bastion during the war.
And that it was abandoned.
This area is desecrated.
Oh boy.
No, nothing else though. Nothing else spooky.
So,
Other than things that you're already used to at this point.
what do you mean by desecrated?
Yeah.
Desecrated.
That's helpful.
Desecrated.
Raylan's just like, all right. Okay.
There's something very evil happened here, and now the land is affected by it. I don't know what or who did it. I assume it's either the effects of the shadow fell that are just very abundant on this land, or maybe it was something Tetheros did. I don't know. Areas of...
I've just never really heard the word before.
Sorry. Different lines of
A couple
work.
of times, but never really been in one directly.
You guys continue on through the forest, still kind of battering down the rain onto all of you. And you're pretty wet at this point.
Raylan has a hood and a jacket, and he's happy for it.
Oh, yeah. Phelan's prepared for this. He's ready for it.
Already very curly hair is just a mess.
And as you guys continue along through the forest, a couple of hours kind of go by. And it gets darker and darker. And then Phelan, you notice at first you hear like a bunch of trees move from behind you. And then you hear it again. And then you hear the moving of wind. And then you all hear it.
Oh no.
Tree tops above you begin to move and rustle begin to one another. And you see zipping past you up above. It's only a moment that you see it. This massive, huge figure flies directly above you, blocks the rain out and any sort of light out for just a moment, casts a shadow over you, and flies by. Huge wingspan. And it continues in the same direction that you're going. And doesn't stop.
Any chance that's just like a bat?
No.
Like a harmless night-bound creature?
I don't think so. I think that might be the dragon that we fought. Well, ran away from.
We is a strong word.
Ran away from is a better statement.
Yes.
Yes.
Auspicious. I couldn't really see it, but yeah, you guys are probably right.
We might have to fight that.
Yes. Speaking of, Phelan, you seem to know a lot about creatures. Do you know anything about the type of creature that this is?
Linara told us about it, but it's a shadow Dracolich.
Right, but
it's the dragon that died and then came back. And this one's even worse because it's from the Shadowfell. So it's even more, evil.
Do you know what we should be looking out for? Like what it can do? Any ideas? Something we can plan for?
Okay. So
Normally
Jacob,
I'd like to go in with a plan.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest.
see, Phelan even only found that out in session 0, rolling a natural 20. Which is very, very lucky. Should I still roll for this, or just kind of be, it's a legend thing?
What do you want to roll for, to know what he is?
Well, already knows what it is because been told by Lunara, and then he was also able to identify it beforehand. Would he be able to have an idea of how to fight this or how to deal with it?
Sure. Go and make a. You have a monster knowledge roll. Go ahead and roll that.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if it was even worth rolling it because I was so lucky in the first place.
No, it's fine. Go for it.
You're able to connect dots from other creatures that you might already have an idea that you can put together.
Yeah.
Yep.
16.
Okay. Dragons are difficult to fight. That should be a given.
Yep. He even probably starts it out with like, dragons are just difficult.
They're difficult because they don't have very many weaknesses. You can't hide from them. You can't. You can't hide from them because they have blind sight. They have dark vision. They have incredibly high perception skills. Like even if their eyes don't work, they know where you are just by hearing you. They can smell you. So hiding isn't an option, especially when it comes to shadow dragons. Shadow dragons specifically are incredible at hiding in darkness. They're the only type of dragon that are adept at stealthing. Most dragons are pretty what's the word I'm looking for? Not rambunctious, but they like to display their power. They like to make themselves known. Shadow dragons are like the ones that'll kind of hide on the side of the wall, wait, and then pounce on you. On top of that, you're aware that Osvithis is a Draco Lich, which is an undead type of dragon. So you know that most things aren't going to affect him like anything Lilia does in terms of like necrotic damage. Anything in terms of charming or frightening him or poisoning him. It's not going to work on him. So not only is he a craftier, more cunning stealth dragon, he's also undead, doesn't need to eat, doesn't need to breathe. Like you've never heard of a dragon being able to do this. You're connecting the dots between what you already know, and this is a very terrifying kind of abomination of a creature.
Yeah, so he'll probably spell that out in less words, I would assume. I mean,
so maybe it might be better to not focus on trying to kill it, but its master. It doesn't seem like we can really kill it easily.
Well, the problem would be if, it tries to kill us forward, focusing Tetheros, and then,
right.
Rock in a hard place.
And realistically speaking, once he sees us, I don't really think we'll have an easy way to get away.
Mm-mm. That's why it was going to be kind of good to have Klazaker, because, he could help.
Right.
But, that's all I know about them. And even then, it's just stuff that I've, put two and two together because of other things. But I don't know.
It's really helpful, at least, to go into it knowing a little bit.
Knowing how tough it's going to be.
Could we maybe bring Tetheros to us?
What do you mean?
I feel like we would need a connection.
Lure him? I think now is the time to say that I may have forgotten to give Klazaker the gate pieces that I was given by Linyara. The things that he's looking for.
Well, that would
They're
definitely draw
in
him
my
out.
pocket.
That's not good.
Yeah, I realized the second that we were out of the town that I
It
still
would
had.
probably draw him out at least.
Are we, is this the moment where we all sort of admit to each other that we are walking into certain death, or?
No death is certain.
I'm
God damn.
pretty sure we're gonna die.
Is certain.
I'm pretty we're gonna die.
Except for maybe.
Look, Phelan, these are not
Investigation.
ideal circumstances, but if there's anything you want to do before you die, we could walk over there.
I'd rather not.
I'd make it worth your while.
Please don't.
You know,
I don't like that. I never. Mm-mm.
Are you sure? I mean, you've never. Just say before you die, before you are dead 100%.
That's never interested me at all.
Oof! Wow, what a strange life you must live, Phelan. I do not understand you.
I'm aware of that. I've been hunting monsters since I was a kid. That's all I know.
Never have time for anything else when you're doing something like that.
It was just fun. I enjoyed it.
Ooh, that is also a disturbing thing to say.
It gave me a purpose.
Well, we're not getting any younger or more powerful standing around out here.
We all have a new purpose now. And Stibbles just looks at everybody and says, and we're probably gonna die. And that's our new purpose.
Stibbles,
Thanks, Stibbles.
You're welcome.
Stibbles, I just want to ask something of you.
Okay.
When we're in there and we're fighting, and let's just say maybe 3 of us are attacking someone, a group of people, and you throw down your little vine thingies. If those kill me, I will haunt you. And I think that goes for the rest of us as well. If I die to you, Stibbles, I will never leave you
situation.
You know,
this is Colton laughing.
A lot of people
core.
have died because of me, and I have not seen any ghosts.
You don't.
What I'm trying to say is, okay.
All right. As long as we're on the same page.
Well, do we want to bring it in for a group hug? At the very least.
I think I'm good.
Yeah,
Just
sure, whatever.
A moment of physical nearness before we are certainly.
Do you need a hug, Kurt?
I'm just saying that if we're about to fucking die.
Stibbles, you guys only have 5 horses. Stibbles is probably on the back of Kurt's.
No,
Stibbles convinced his horse to follow him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. So Stibbles kind of clops over with his horse, goes over to Kurt, and just gives you a hug.
Thank you, Stibbles. Just saying.
But if everybody else is dead, I'm getting out. I'm not hanging around.
That makes sense. We'd all be dead.
I'm like super over 300 years old. I've lived that long for a reason. Just letting you know. If more than half of you are dead,
I'm going
to think about it.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, all right.
I mean,
really 300?
And
you're still.
You gestured to all of me.
Someday you'll be 300 and you'll understand.
Secret handshake, then, or a high five.
I'll high five you.
We could. I don't know. Jesus.
To be completely honest, you are how tall now? 6'9", and you have
something like that. Yes.
I'm quite jealous of you right now, Kurt. You're very tall. And you have a beard. I cannot grow one, and that makes me very upset.
Don't worry. My father would have said, "It's just my bastard blood." He was not a nice man, but it does have.
Did we unlock forbidden knowledge?
Maybe. I mean, now's the time. Now's the time to get all your stuff out. We might die in like 10 minutes. There's a fucking dragon over there, and a lich. and countless undead. So, anyone have anything to say?
Looks to Lilia.
Honestly, yeah. Looks
Stibbles
to,
also looks at Lilia.
yeah. Everyone just turns to Lilia.
She's not like looking at you guys. She's like looking down and like just kind of standing there, and then looks up and like, what?
Philip very quickly looks over at Kurt.
I can go first, Lilia, if it would make you feel better. I could say something deep and dark about myself.
Want to say?
All right. Kor, do you have anything? Last. If you were to die, do you want me to tell anyone anything if I get it out?
Make you into a stew, maybe.
I'm not comfortable cooking people.
Okay, some people are. Some
drow are, not me.
Well, okay. I have something. Just in case I explode, which is incredibly likely. In the best of times, Kurt pulls the slip of paper out of their pocket and unfurls it. It's the receipt from the Purple Company. Kurt says, well, it's a really long story, so you're going to have to suffer the abridged version. Right. I am fairly certain my father was the leader of a cult that purposely impregnated a poor woman in order to do magical experiments on the child, which was me. And it was my understanding that my father had sort of disappeared and was killed years ago. And the existence of this Purple Company's put the lie to that. So if I fall today or tomorrow, if someone could find him and sort of give him a kick in the ass, that would make me feel good.
Right. I will, if I live, Kurt, and you are to not. I vow to give your father a kick in the ass.
Kurt hands
Are we gonna just ignore the whole magic thing?
I've always just known if there's talk of cult, you ignore. You don't listen to the cult.
Okay. Well, lesson learned.
Well, yes. I mean, I can only assume that their
Jacob, what's that face?
their experiments worked somehow. I made a whole town levitate once.
You did.
It's not great. Doesn't always work out. And who knows what I would have been if I had been, I don't know, imbued with some primordial force of magical energy, right? I could have been a baker or like a dairy maid.
Do you want those things, Kurt?
I don't know. They've been taken from me anyway.
If we live, maybe you can buy a farm. Be a dairy maid.
No, if I'm being real with you guys, if we live, I'm probably going to find the next inn and have sex with as many people as I can and drink as much as I can possibly manage before I pass out.
There you go. That's what we should be looking forward to.
It somehow is less in my mind now that you mention it, Stibbles. Like, now that you have advocated for it, I don't know that I want it as badly.
If I die, I sort of promised my mom I'd find my sister, so if you see any drow women walking around,
Where's the corn?
a full drow women walking around, kicking in tavern doors and sailing away with everything that you love, tell her that Eldon really wants her to come home.
So you don't want her exploded?
I'll explode her. I'll explode
Please.
any drow you tell me to.
That
Please don't
basically
explode my sister.
sounds like
What,
the opposite of what he wanted.
We will.
Oh, that's your sister.
Do you
We
have?
will.
If you think
Can I
I'm
still explode her?
No, I don't. think
No,
that's the
I
idea.
think the idea is to not do that, which will probably mean that I don't spearhead that particular. I will do my best, and I would. Yeah, I mean, as long as I don't use magic at all.
Do you have a name?
her name's Lamarcia.
That's a nice name.
She's very quick to anger. Just
Not at all like someone we know.
runs in the family, I guess. Yeah. Anyone else? Last requests?
Core, is there anything you'd like to tell us from the withered shack of your soul?
I think you guys already know what I'm doing, right? Who I'm looking for?
Yeah.
I guess it would be similar to Kurt's if you happen across him. Or her.
Swift kick in the ass.
Or